friends, I'm Lolly. It's getting a little bit cold around here. I'm kind of excited for winter, are you? I'm really excited for winter because whenever it's winter time out, I like to read my favorite book. Extra yarn. I love yarn. I love things that are cozy, that make me feel nice and warm. I love this book. I love the pictures. I love all the words in it. The words are written by Barnett, and the pictures are done by Jon Klassen. I hope that you like this book as much as I do. Let's begin. Ooh, look at that town. Looks very gray, doesn't it? On a cold afternoon in a cold little town where everywhere you looked was either the white of snow or the black of soot from chimneys, Annabelle found a box filled with yarn of every color. So she went home and she knit herself a sweater, and when Annabelle was done, she had some extra yarn. So she knit a sweater for Mars too. Oh, hi Mars. But there was still extra yarn. And when Annabelle and Mars went for a walk, Nate pointed and laughed and said, "You two look ridiculous." "You're just jealous," said Annabelle. "No, I'm not," said Nate. Look, there's Annabelle and Mars. There's Nate. He has a dog too. He's pointing and laughing, which as we know is not a kind thing to do, right? But it turned out that he was jealous. And even after she'd made a sweater for Nate and his dog and for herself and for Mars, she still had extra yarn. At school, Annabelle's classmates could not stop talking about her sweater. "Quiet," said Mr. Norman. "Quiet, everyone! Annabelle, that sweater of yours is a terrible distraction. I cannot teach with everyone turning around to look at you." "Then I'll knit one for everyone," Annabelle said, "so they won't have to turn around." "Impossible," said Mr. Norman. "You can't." But it turned out she could, and she did. Look, everyone in the class. Even for Mr. Norman. And when she was done, Annabelle still had extra yarn. So she knit sweaters for her mom and dad. And for Mr. Pendleton. And Mrs. Pendleton. And Dr. Palmer. And for little Louie. She made sweaters for everyone except for Mr. Crabtree, who never wore sweaters or even long pants, and who would stand in his shorts with the snow up to his knees. "No sweater for me, thanks," said Mr. Crabtree. So she made Mr. Crabtree a hat, and even then Annabelle still had extra yarn. So she made sweaters for all the dogs and all the cats, and for other animals too. Soon people thought, soon Annabelle will run out of yarn. But it turned out she didn't, so Annabelle made sweaters for things that didn't even wear sweaters. Look, a mailbox, a birdhouse, a house, a people house. Things began to change in that little town. Let's look. Looks a lot more colorful and playful, doesn't it? News spread of this remarkable girl who never ran out of yarn, and people came to visit from around the world to see all the sweaters and to shake Annabelle's hand. One day, an archduke who was very fond of clothes sailed across the sea and demanded to see Annabelle. "Little girl," said the Archduke, "I would like to buy that miraculous box of yarn, and I'm willing to offer you $1 million. "No, thank you," said Annabelle, who was knitting a sweater for a pickup truck. A truck had a sweater? The Archduke's mustache twitched. $2 million, he said. Annabelle shook her head. "No, thanks." $10 million, shouted the Archduke. "Take it or leave it." "Leave it," said Annabelle. I won't sell the yarn. And she didn't. Oh, what's happening in this picture? Oh no, oh no, oh no. So that night the Archduke hired 3 robbers to break into Annabelle's house, and they stole the box. And they took it to the Archduke, who set off across the snow and sailed over the sea. There's his boat. Oh no. Back to his castle. Oh, it's a very big castle in the middle of the ocean. The Archduke put on his favorite song and sat in his best chair, and he took out the box and he lifted its lid and he looked inside. What do you think is inside? All the extra yarn? His mustache quivered. It shivered. It trembled. The Archduke hurled the box out the window and shouted, "Little girl, I curse you with my family's curse. You will never be happy again." But, look, the box landed on an iceberg. There it is, floating in the dark ocean. All the way to Annabelle. It turned out she was. She was happy. And there she is. She knit a whole sweater for a tree. And there are some very happy animals sitting in that tree. Still one of my favorite books. How about you guys? Did you like it? Can you help me put it away? Let's count to 3. See if we can get it to go back onto the bookshelf. 1, 2, 3. Off it goes, onto the magical bookshelf, just like the magical box of yarn. I love that story. I love it for a couple of reasons. One is I love when people make things and give them to other people. I think it's really fun. Do you guys make anything? Do you make crafts? Do you know anybody who knits or crochets or sews or bakes? It's really fun. It makes people really happy, right? When you share things with them. I also love that book because it's about a strong kid, a strong girl, which is always really fun, who believed in herself and she was doing things out of kindness, which is really wonderful. Good old Annabelle. Thank you so much for reading that book with me. I hope that you like it so much that you go get your own copy and then we can read it together. That would be so fun, right? And come back and read some more stories with me another time. Again, my name's Lolly. I have a whole website, lollyhopwood.com. You can go there and see some other cool books and songs and crafts and all sorts of things. And you can join me again for live story times, for concerts, for shows, and for stuff online. I'll see you guys again real soon. Bye!